Me to discuss some of the content of that is Michael Larosa, former press secretary for the First Lady in the Biden administration. Michael, just to start on the media point, I mean, I'm sure, during your time working with the Bidens, you've seen newspaper headlines that have made you angry because they've been out of context. Trump, I mean, he does have every right to be angry, doesn't he, about the way the word bloodbath has been used?
Well, Donald Trump himself has always had a casual relationship with the truth himself in our country. So yes, I would tend to agree that it was probably taken out of context, but it was a Republican senator actually yesterday who said, a Republican senator from Louisiana who said it's this kind of language, even though he was referring to the auto industry, talking about a bloodbath if he's not elected. That's the kind of rhetoric and language that really turns off the voters that Mr. Trump needs to win a close election. Places like in the suburbs where he lost to Joe Biden by 10% and lost to, I think, Hillary Clinton by 6%. So, that kind of language overall, even though it was taken out of context, I'd probably use different language if I were him going forward.
Okay, no, I get the point you're making. Now, look, he has, I mean, at the moment, Michael, if you look at the swing states, he is clearly at the moment in the lead, and that's perhaps why he's as bullish as he is. But I mean, I put it to you that actually maybe the Democrats would be better to change horses. Maybe Joe Biden at 81 is just too old to be the candidate this time round.
Well, there's two candidates who are old. They're only about 3 years apart. Regardless of who wins, we're actually going to elect the oldest president in American history for the third time in a row, third election in a row. So Americans have proven that they really don't view age as an impediment. That said, you have two old men, neither of whom are particularly popular at the moment, personally. However, one has 91 criminal indictments against him. The other one doesn't. So that has to play a role as well, age, but also character.
Yeah, well, and some people hate Trump, some absolutely love him. The very, very strong emotions that he arouses. Yes. But come on, Michael, who do you think is going to win? Who is going to win on November the 5th?
So I'll say two things. I do think, Joe Biden never trailed Donald Trump in the polls in 2019 and 2020 when I was on the Biden campaign. So it is concerning to see Joe Biden consistently behind. That said, polls don't tell us where we're going. They tell us where we are. So it's important to keep that in mind. It would be, they're not meant to be predictive. They are meant to be instructive. So I would hate to predict, but I do think given the way independent voters in this country have decided elections in the last three cycles in 2018, 2020, and 2022, independents have swung to Joe Biden. That's good news for the Biden campaign, is that if they're looking at the voting behavior and patterns of Americans recently, they have reason to be optimistic.